Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking the ordinary everyday eggplant and totally transforming it from a simple culinary ingredient into a scientifically backed superfood. You might just think of it as a popular emoji or maybe just that spongy base for a really heavy Parmesan dish, but I promise you, there is a whole lot more going on under that dark purple skin than meets the eye.
Think about this for a second. What if a massive solution to some of our biggest modern health crises is literally sitting right at the bottom of your crisper drawer? We tend to completely overlook the humble, everyday vegetables, right? We're always chasing exotic supplements and trendy super powders, but as we'll see today, rigorous clinical science suggests we really need to look a lot closer to home. To hook you right out of the gate, let's talk numbers. 25. That is the amount of calories in a 100-gram serving of this purple powerhouse. It's an unbelievably low baseline, and it perfectly sets the stage for an incredibly dense nutritional profile. It packs a major punch without expanding your waistline. We've got a ton of fascinating clinical data to get through today. Here is our roadmap. We're covering the humble purple superfood, the blood pressure breakthrough, boosting your psychological state, managing diabetes with brinjal, heart health and beyond, and finally, what to actually put on your plate today. Let's get right into it. Section 1, the humble purple superfood, more than just an emoji. Okay, let's look past the eggplant's reputation as just a spongy, kind of bitter vegetable. Interestingly enough, in early Indian Ayurvedic practices, doctors actually utilized white eggplants to combat things like diabetes and asthma. But we have to ask, what does modern science actually say about all this?
What's really wild here is the basic foundation of this plant. It is naturally so low in calories and carbs. We're talking only 6 grams of carbohydrates per 100 grams. Yet, it's wonderfully rich in 3 grams of dietary fiber and essential minerals, packing 229 milligrams of potassium. This highly efficient macronutrient profile makes it just a perfect canvas for overall health, especially if you're keeping a close eye on your weight or your blood sugar. Moving right along to Section 2, the blood pressure breakthrough, clinical science. This is where things get really exciting. Let's look at the rigorous clinical trials examining the eggplant's effects on hypertension. Because high blood pressure is a massive global public health challenge, right? It contributes to at least 45% of deaths attributed to heart disease. So finding functional everyday foods to manage this is a huge priority for medical researchers. To really understand how this works, you've got to know about acetylcholine, or ACH. This right here is the chemical MVP of the eggplant. ACH is a well-known neurotransmitter, and when you consume it through eggplant, it actually stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system. It essentially acts as a biological brake pedal for your blood pressure by automatically suppressing the sympathetic nervous activity, which, if you didn't know, is the system responsible for our stress response. So check out this fascinating 12-week randomized double-blind study. Researchers took 100 stressed individuals with either normal high blood pressure or grade 1 hypertension, and they tested a very specific daily dose. The placebo group got plain dextrin powder capsules, but the active group, they received 1.2 grams of eggplant powder capsules daily, and that specific amount delivered exactly 2.3 milligrams of this crucial acetylcholine. And wow, the results were absolutely remarkable. Just look at this. The eggplant powder intake significantly decreased diastolic blood pressure overall by week 8. And it genuinely gets better. By week 12, both systolic and diastolic levels were significantly lowered in the grade 1 hypertension group compared to the placebo. This is hard clinical evidence showing a direct cardiovascular benefit from a daily dose of eggplant powder that's equivalent to just 22 grams of the raw vegetable. Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, boosting your psychological state, mind and body. Because the benefits of suppressing that sympathetic nervous activity aren't just physical, they profoundly impact your mind too. Stress and negative psychological states are so deeply intertwined with our nervous system, so calming one naturally helps calm the other. It's an amazing feedback loop. Using what's called the full-length profile of mood states test, or POMS2, researchers discovered something amazing. The eggplant group experienced significant improvements in negative psychological states. We're talking about real, measurable drops in confusion, bewilderment, and depression-dejection, particularly in the normal high blood pressure participants. The crucial takeaway here is that by lowering blood pressure through nervous system modulation, the eggplant's active compounds were concurrently soothing the mind. All right, Section 4, managing diabetes with brinjal, blood sugar control. Let's pivot to another massive health challenge, diabetes, and see how brinjal, as it's known in many parts of the world, is just perfectly constructed to help manage this condition.
When we evaluate food for diabetes, it is all about the glycemic index, right? Well, eggplant boasts a remarkably low glycemic index of just 15. That means its carbohydrates are absorbed incredibly slowly into your bloodstream. It absolutely will not cause those dangerous, rapid spikes in your blood glucose levels that individuals managing diabetes need to vigilantly avoid. So, here's the magic behind it. This combination of high fiber and active polyphenols work together in complete harmony to maintain stable blood sugar and prevent sudden crashes. Those 3 grams of fiber actively put the brakes on sugar digestion, while the natural plant compounds have actually been shown in studies to reduce the absorption of sugar and even enhance insulin secretion. It really is a multi-layered defense system. Next up, Section 5, Heart Health and Beyond, Cellular Protection. Let's zoom way in and see how this vegetable builds our defense against cellular damage and cardiovascular disease at the microscopic level. You know that beautiful, glossy, dark purple skin? It is not just there to look pretty in the protocyle. It is packed with a compound called nasunin. Nasunin is a highly potent antioxidant pigment. And remember, antioxidants are what protects your body from harmful chemicals called free radicals. So this compound acts as a literal microscopic shield for your cells, effectively protecting them from oxidative damage that can lead to chronic illness over time. But wait, there's more. The vegetable also contains salicylsodiene remnosyl glycosides. Let's just call them SRGs for short. These are specific compounds found in nightshade plants. And what's truly fascinating here is that animal and topical studies suggest SRGs can actually trigger the death of certain cancer cells, and they may even decrease the chance of recurrence in certain types of cancer. Obviously, more extensive human research is needed, but these early indicators, they are incredibly promising. And when it comes to your heart, the data really speaks for itself. Studies show that incorporating eggplant can actively drive down LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, and decrease triglyceride markers, all while naturally boosting your dietary fiber intake. This brilliantly illustrates how simply replacing heavy, calorie-dense foods with fiber-rich eggplant can significantly lower your overall risk for developing heart disease. Okay, let's make this practical. Section 6. On your plate today, maximizing the benefits. Because understanding the deep clinical science is great, but to actually get these benefits, you have to know how to prepare it correctly in your own kitchen. Look, eggplants can be naturally bitter. And if you just toss them in a frying pan, they literally act like a sponge. They'll soak up all that unhealthy oil and completely ruin that amazing 25-calorie baseline we talked about earlier. To avoid this, just follow 3 super easy steps. Step 1, cut both ends off. Step 2, add salt and let it sit for about 30 minutes. This draws out the bitter flavor and stops the flesh from absorbing excessive fat. Step 3, thoroughly wash off the salt and then roast, bake, or steam it. Simple as that. So here we are, armed with the knowledge of acetylcholine's blood pressure-lowering magic, that microscopic cellular shield of nasunin, and all this real, rigorous clinical trial data. Are you finally ready to unlock the health secrets of the humble eggplant? Seriously, are you ready to rethink the absolute most misunderstood vegetable in your crisper drawer? Because it might just be the smartest, most impactful addition you make to your diet this entire week. Thank you so much for joining me to explore the fascinating science behind what we eat.